Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to yet another webinar from CIO and supported by Aptiva, Coop, and Secureworks. And this afternoon, we'll be talking about cybersecurity, and the topic is actually cybersecurity beyond SIEM. My name is Hari Hare, for those who we haven't met or who don't know me. And I am the publisher at CIO East Africa. I will introduce my panelists a bit later, but for now, just some quick housekeeping rules. So as usual, we have our chat function. So please say hi, drop a note there and say, hey, Harry, how are you doing? It's a long time since we met. The pandemic has kept us, apart for so long. So say hi when you get a moment. So there's a chat function there. Please use it. Let's discuss. Let's say share knowledge. There's also a Q&A button on the Q&A. That's where the questions will be. So if you have a burning question, please go to the Q&A tab and drop your question there. We want to be able to have this session as interactive as possible. So please ask your questions. No question should never be answered. So since you are logged in, make sure you ask your question so that we can answer your question. I see Dr. Yasin Mshana there. Dr. Mshana, karibu sana. Nice to see you. I see Mesfin. Thank you, Mesfin, for joining. Mesfin, all the way from Addis. That's great, man. That's great. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. So without any further ado, I want to introduce my two speakers. So first we have Gopan. I won't even try to pronounce his second name, but I'm sure you've read about it. You've read his second name, but we will ask him to just give us a hint of how to pronounce it. But Gopan is a senior solutions manager responsible for Middle East and Africa at Secureworks. Gopan has been in this space for over 16 years, so tons and tons of experience. And Gopan will be taking us through a presentation on he'll make the bulk of the presentation before we go into our Q&A. And together with Gopan is my friend, brother from another mother, Pramod. Pramod works for Aptiva, and Aptiva has been trying to connect all these dots between global players within the cybersecurity space, and also within the IT space in providing solutions for different organizations. But Pramod sits in India, but Aptiva is a global company, and he's the director there, responsible for the team that sits in India and does all the heavy lifting in India. But he'll tell you about himself. He's a good guy. So when you see him, say hi to him if he happens to come to Kenya sometime soon. So thank you very much, everybody. So those are my two presenters today. And I'm really hoping that we'll have a good session, that we'll be able to exchange knowledge, we'll be able to learn. If you have any question, don't leave this room without asking it. Okay, so let's get all our questions answered. But just going back to the topic of the day, we've been talking about cybersecurity and the different things that are happening. Some of the biggest, threats that and compromises that have been happening. Banks have been hit. Corporate organizations have been hit. So how do we protect our organizations? And the best way to protect is first to actually have a system where you can at least know that somebody is trying to get into your systems. Yeah, because a lot of the time what happens is that you've been hit when you already been hit and guys are gone. So how do we detect that there's some people who are trying to do something to our systems, or somebody is knocking at our door. And how do we manage that whole process? That's basically the content of this webinar today. And I'm really excited to have these two gentlemen, because they live this stuff. So without any further ado, I will invite Gopan to take us through his presentation. And please, as I said, you have your Q&A button there. Drop your questions there. There's a handout section there also, so you'll see all these presentations there.